I think this was part of the transition from Saban to this new coach. And now you have and now you have your guys who are locked in for you. Remove Saban's guys who either transferred, went to the NFL. Now you have your guys in.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast preview of the Southeastern Conference for the 2025 football season. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams. And before we begin, let us remind you that the Odd Coaches Podcast is entering its fifth season. Yes, fifth season of covering pro and college football and basketball. And we like to talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only. We are for the casual fan. So with me today as we break down the SEC is Captain for Life, Will Cotton. Will, they tell me the SEC is just different. How you feeling about talking about the Southeast Conference?
Got to do it, man. This is the conference. This is the conference that gets the needle moving for everyone. I mean, everyone talks trash about this and that and that. Forget that. This is the conference that gets people talking. This is the one that they're waiting for. So,
all right. So in segment one, we'll talk about the top tier teams. In segment two, we'll talk about the second tier teams. And in segment three, we will talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll do a firm breakdown of the top five, and then we'll move through. Texas is number one. They have been 25-5 with back-to-back trips to the college football playoff. Coach Sark has come back from the abyss, and he's got the man that made us nervous last year. Arch Manning's going to play. Is Texas worth the hype, Will?
They're worth the hype. They're worth the hype. To be honest with you, if they don't win the national title, it's a failed season for them.
Wow.
Straight up.
Okay. All right.
Straight up.
The Georgia Bulldogs, who piss me off every year because they don't draft right and their players get in trouble all the time, return only 7 starters. And I'm just not a fan of Kirby in terms of how his student athletes are just terrorizing Athens, Georgia. So I'm kind of hoping that they lose. And that's just me being Mike King type petty. Any thoughts on Georgia, sir?
Still, their biggest opponent will be the State Troopers. That'll
Can
be the
we
biggest.
Stop? What are y'all doing, man?
Until it stops, it's like an ongoing joke. It's just like every year, man. It's like, oh. What's going to stop you? It's going to be State Troopers.
Ridiculous, man.
But seriously, I think Georgia, elite class that they brought in. They brought in that kid from the Army who had like 7 sacks. Like, they brought this kid. How did this kid end up in Army now in Georgia? I mean, where was this kid at? You know what I'm saying? But, I think Georgia will be right up there with Texas competing for that national championship this year.
All right. LSU's third. I'm not a big Brian Kelly guy either. LSU is 29-11 under Brian Kelly, but has yet to earn a playoff trip. And it finished outside the top 25 last year, going 5-3 in the SEC. And yes, I'll be openly rooting against Louisiana State University because Brian Kelly is just not my cup of tea.
I'm with you.
Okay. Now, 4 is Alabama. And Kalen DeBoer's debut in Tuscaloosa. We had a couple of jokes saying don't lose next week, or you might hope you rent it and not own. 9-4 is not good in Alabama. No playoff trip, not good in Alabama. Will he be good this year and get back to the playoffs? What do you think, Will?
I think they have a much better quarterback this year, which gave him a little bit more stability in terms of the game. Milroe was good, but he wasn't going to move the offense as well consistently as he needed to. I think that's where now the coach is like, I need a quarterback to run my system. They have this kid, Keelan Russell, 5-star, supposed to be a really good kid. They also have a really good receiver again from Jersey, this kid who had like 67 touchdowns in his career. Good Lord. And we know Alabama is not afraid to put young talent, could be 17, 18. However, they put you on the field and you can run, you can go. So I think Alabama will definitely see great improvement from last year. I don't think it'll be 9-4. I think they'd be right around like 10-2. Again, they'll be going.
They better make
Georgia.
That playoff, man.
They got to make that. To be honest with you, To be honest with you, they almost did. They almost did. Even with the crappy season they had a chance to do it. But I think now I think this was part of the transition from Saban to this new coach. And now you have and now you have your guys who are locked in for you. Remove Saban's guys who either transferred, went to the NFL. Now you have your guys in. So they have no reason to not succeed unless you're just not bringing in the same kind of talent.
All right. And then 5, your sneaky favorite team, Florida. Billy Napier saved his job at the end of the year. 8-5 final record and big victories over Ole Miss and LSU. He can't have that slow start again, though. What are you thinking about Florida this year, sir?
It's just tough with Florida, man. I don't know if what they want to do. I don't know if their policies are dampening, because it seems like ever since they had, ever since their
I'm an academic, sir. We're not worried about entry requirements in Gainesville.
I'm sure. But the last couple of years, they just don't know what they want to be. I mean, they brought in some really good quarterbacks who were thought supposed to change things. It never really came together as it's supposed to see. To be honest with you, I think this is a season that Billy Napier loses his job. Outside of competing for a playoff spot, they're going to move on him. They just had no one to do it right this year. There was really no sexy, hot coach that was like, oh, let me bring him in and change things and da 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 da. But now we're moving forward. That could be Dion, could be a name that's out there. James Franklin could be a name if he doesn't win out there. It's just names. It's names. But this kid, Napier's not gonna be here next year. But we'll see what happens.
All right, and the last 3 in the top tier: South Carolina and Shane Beamer, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, and Texas A&M throwing out those dollars with their coaching staff, Coach Mike Elko. Out of these 3 teams, anybody catch your eye and will sneakily mess up everything for the super top tier?
Oh, I'm always in it for Texas A&M, man. I like that team, man. I like that team. They got the thing, like you said, they got NIL, baby. They're going to have at least some guys to compete. One of the best places, Kyle Field, one of the best places to play. The town is amazing. I was lucky enough to visit last year, College Station. Amazing. I don't know how people lose. I don't know if people to win in that game, that stadium. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Texas A&M. Watch out. They're always a team that's going to be right there competing.
Yeah. For me, sneakily, I love South Carolina. I've had a chance to go there on a couple of occasions for some academic conferences work, and Dawn Staley's down there, and I had a chance to walk their football facility. They are trying their best to jump into that next tier. So on occasion this season, I may be taking South Carolina in the points, seeing what's going on down there. So in segment 2, we're going to talk about the second tier teams in the SEC, and there's a certain team in Tennessee that's not named Tennessee who talked a little too much. So we'll talk about that, and we'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here, and for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond, and that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CKA Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches Podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.cascadespn.com. That's ckasafeproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 2, we're going to talk about the second-tier teams. Will, we've got Oklahoma at 9, Tennessee at 10, and Auburn at 11. Any of those three teams catch your eye? Anybody you want to watch this year?
I know Oklahoma wants to redo for last year. I know not only did it hurt them that Texas was extra good, but they were just not good. So I think Oklahoma's definitely they exactly. I think Oklahoma wants to come in. They want to definitely put their stamp and saying we belong in the SEC. I think that's something that Oklahoma wants to do. I want to see if they do that this year because I'm a big SEC guy. When they came over there, Big 12 was like, oh, well, we have a record of beating SEC players, and we beat them in the bowls. And if you look at the history and beat the SEC teams, then I'll be a believer.
Well, yes, Oklahoma, Brent Venables is definitely on the hot seat. Two things. Josh Heupel at Tennessee, the whole Nico whatever situation just kind of said something's wrong in your locker room, so I don't think I can back them this year. I'm just not a fan of Hugh Freeze, so good luck Auburn, good luck Tennessee, but ain't going to work out for you. All right, 12, Missouri, 13, Arkansas, and 14, Vanderbilt. Any of those teams catch your eye, sir?
I like Missouri, man. They're always
I love their NIL. Their whole state is in on NIL, man.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how you do it. That's how you compete. That's how you compete. If you can't bring in the top tier guys right now, you go out there in the transfer portal, you bring them in. You got the NIL money, you combine it. It's a pyramid. You got to be able to do it. It's sustainable, and it's So I think Missouri will be a team that's going to be good. Obviously, we've seen previous in the last 2 seasons they're 21-5. I don't see a reason for that to stop. One, I don't think they're a team that nobody is really looking for, even if they are playing well. And then you go to Missouri and you get punched in the mouth. It's not actually the most. It's cold, It's a tough place to win, and nobody is ever looking at Missouri. No one's ever like, oh man, well, we got to really worry and focus about Missouri. I think Missouri gets a lot of wins because people overlook them. They either after a big game or before a big game for a lot of teams. So I think Missouri can benefit on that, and that's why they still have the consistent record they've had. And it keeps going. So I think they're going to be.
I like Missouri. They're sneaky good. They're 21-5 the last couple of years. And when I say the state is all in on NIL, they're getting talent. So I'm going to keep an eye on them strictly for entertainment purposes only. Arkansas, your schedule's just too hard. So good luck to you guys. But Vanderbilt is where I want to pause. So Vanderbilt was like 2-10 2 years ago, 0-8 in the SEC. They made some changes, and they got a friend of the show. Our good friend and favorite administrator, Robert Abney, lived and worked in New Mexico for a lot of years, and he would tell us between segments, there's this kid in New Mexico named Diego Pavia, and he's tough. And New Mexico State, won some games, and we're like, okay, hey, Diego's going to Vanderbilt. Watch out for Vanderbilt. They're going to be pretty good. And on a couple of occasions, Will and I, well, hey, that was nice. And then Diego won a court case. Again, go Diego. And he got the chance to play an extra year. And then he just became a little too loud for me. A little too braggadocious about all the things that Vanderbilt's going to do. And I'm like, hey, Will, it's still Vanderbilt, isn't it? It's still kind of hard to get players into Vanderbilt, and I had a chance to visit Vanderbilt when I was in Tennessee for a conference, and I'm like, okay, you've gone from being, the baby face to the heel because, man, they watching more Vanderbilt film than I think they ever have in their life, and I think I'm going to take some of the opponents of Vanderbilt this year, but again, sometimes you got to keep it a little quiet. Last two, Will. Kentucky. Mark Stoops keeps his job. I don't know how because they've been kind of stinking the last couple of years. And Mississippi State still haven't recovered from the death of the pirate, Mike Leach. And Starkville is, unless you're playing baseball, it's just not fun being down there. What are you thinking
Nah,
about Kentucky or Mississippi State?
I always like Kentucky. The last couple of years, they have a really good team in there that have been tough. I had a buddy of a buddy who played for Kentucky, so that kind of let me know, like, okay, they're okay. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know if they're going to be anything this year. They do play some tough games, but they're just really not thing. But going back to Vanderbilt, until people know that Vanderbilt's in Tennessee, nobody looking for Vanderbilt. You tell people like you want to Vanderbilt, like, oh, you want to Virginia? Nobody knows what Vanderbilt is. Don't you ever tell that you got things going on in Vanderbilt. Get out of
Oh
here.
man. All right. So Kentucky, please worry about Kentucky. I think week one, I'm taking I think they play like Ohio or something. I'm taking Ohio in the points. Uh, when you lose one of your best coaches to Louisville and
Yeah.
you are in Kentucky, something tells me not to mess with your team. And man, Stark Vegas, no thanks. So
Springbrook, you
good.
don't go from Springbrook to Blake. You don't go from Springbrook to Blake. So there's something going on.
All right. So, fans of segment three, we will talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only as we make postseason predictions with the SEC. We'll be right back on the Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggle student athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard-earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA Safe Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real-life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student athlete success. I believe every student athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.ckasafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student athlete succeed. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment three, bowl teams from the SEC. Arkansas, Oklahoma, Auburn, Florida, Missouri, South Carolina, Texas A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and Texas. Anybody I missed or anybody I should take out, Will, in terms of bowl teams for next season?
Nope, 100%. You don't see Vanderbilt.
No, I don't think they're going to. I'm not pushing those Charles there. But again, man, again, have confidence. But now that we've got film and a whole summer to watch it, kind of cut that thing down. Don't motivate me to care, okay? Yeah. College football playoff teams. I got Texas, I got Georgia, and I got Alabama. Am I missing anybody? And I don't want to have Georgia in there, but I ain't that disrespectful.
That's it for me. Yeah.
Okay. And national champion, Texas has to win because you're right. A lot of noise. Arch Manning has to be the second coming of everybody. I think the kid's good, though. And I think one of the things I like about Arch is that this is how he grew up. It's very similar to Shedeur Sanders. This is all I know. So this doesn't bother me. I've been a Manning my entire life. So you being excited about, you could tell he's comfortable by the outfit he wore to media day, because I'm like, who dressed you? Because there was no flash. That was a Men's Warehouse put together suit.
Oh, yeah. You know what it is.
I like that about Arch.
Boring wins, Coach.
Boring wins. And his grandfather, Archie Manning, sends Bible verses to the kids in the group chat every morning. you're kind of like a regular kid, okay? So he's a regular
I
kid
like him.
with a lot of money, and his last name's Manning. But the kids put the work in, so it's not like you can't just show up to Texas. And he
Yeah.
sat. He sat for 2 years willingly. He sat
quietly too.
Yeah. So I'm kind of rooting for Texas, for all the wrong reasons, strictly for entertainment purposes only. Any final thoughts on the SEC, sir?
National champion, be very careful when the eyes are no longer on the Georgia Bulldogs. They can be very dangerous. Nobody's looking at them.
They can be dangerous. I agree with you.
Totally. They're on the road. They're on the road.
Yeah.
But really, the last 3-4 years, Georgia has been the team to beat in the nation. Yes. Now Texas kind of makes that shift. Georgia has the ability to say, oh, well, now we're going to remind people what happens when you come down to Athens. We're going to show people when we go to their stadium and what we do. And I expect Texas and Georgia, the first game, even not against each other, they need to put out some games and points where it's like, remind me who I am. 60 plus for the Georgia Bulldogs, whoever they play, don't matter. 60 plus for Texas, don't matter who they play in first game. They got to do it.
So, on behalf of my captain for life, Will Cotton, I'm Dr. Keith Adams, saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, also seen on the Cascade Sports Network. And we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach FRANCHIZE. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.